See if we can get this going. Hey guys, it's Mike from Sapulpa Times. Beautiful Monday morning down here in downtown Sapulpa, and I hope that your Labor Day Monday is going well. A little bit late getting started this morning, but I think that's okay. We've got hopefully a few of you guys that'll be joining us here before we get going too long. I am just just looking forward to just kind of chatting with you guys for a little while. This is going to be a little bit different, I think, than our normal show that we do. Normally, Lucy and I, we come up here and we start talking about everything that's going on in Sapulpa. We talk about events, we talk about the news and stuff. But since she's not here today and since it's just me, I thought maybe I could kind of open this up to just have more of a broader conversation with you guys. So let me just kind of get in here and get some stuff set up. And then let's see if I can get in here and maybe get editing this while we're working on it. Maybe not. Edit. See if that'll work. I'm trying to see if I can actually. Here we go. Okay, so I can see myself on the computer here. I'm just trying to see if maybe I can like interact with you guys while this is still going on here, kind of, sort of. Okay. All right. So. All right, so I got some stuff I want to do with you guys this morning. This is going to be a lot of fun, I think. First of all, this is great, okay? Like, it's Labor Day weekend. I totally understand that a lot of places are closed today. It's Monday, and in downtown Sapulpa, a lot of our retailers are closed anyway. But today we have Sugar Llamas is open. Thank God. Somebody with coffee is open. And I saw on their Facebook page this morning, not only are they open, but they're actually doing specials. They've introduced some new fall flavors, which I'm going to have here. I've got the new pumpkin pie donuts. And so that's going to be awesome. And then they've also got some new, I don't know how they got away with this, frankly, but they've got some new drink flavors, one of which, for all you Harry Potter fans out there, is butterbeer. Okay, so apparently you can get like a butterbeer shake or drink or something over at Sugar Llamas. I would highly encourage you guys to go check that out today if you can. So anyway, I went by there today. They're not super busy, but there were people starting to come in. And I am going to show you guys the donuts that I have. First of all, hey Lucy, I see you watching. Good morning, thanks for tuning in. First of all, okay, this is one thing I love about Sugar Llamas. It doesn't matter what you get there, right? You get coffee, you get a Red Bull Blaster, whatever it is you get. They always give you a drink donut, which is awesome, right? So it doesn't matter, like, if you're not going there for donuts at all, you're going to get a donut, usually. I am going to save that one, though, because I really want to dig into these pumpkin pie donuts here first. Okay, oh, man. Okay, so it looks like, I'm going to see if I can kind of show that to the camera there. How'd that look? It's a lot of white powder with a like a pumpkin glaze or something there, and then what looks like, I guess they put like maybe a graham cracker crumble or something like that on there to really kind of give you that pumpkin pie flavor. But they've got several flavors now. They've got the pumpkin pie, they've got candy apple, they've got something with chocolate. I didn't get a look at all of them. You know, it's still waking up for me, but they're open and they're taking orders. So let's see how much of a mess I can make here when I do this. This is going to be pretty good. That's really good. Yeah, that drizzle, it really just sits there. It's great because you get the powdered sugar going on, which is awesome. And then when that drizzle hits and it kind of mixes it in there, it makes a nice little concoction in your mouth. Oh man, that's good. Okay, so you guys be sure to go get those. Somebody just commented and said that the toffee donuts, that's one of the ones I was thinking of, that they're amazing. I haven't had those yet. Those look awesome. But anyway, I also saw that they're doing a special right now on, I guess if you buy 2 scoops of their ice cream, you get one of their cups, like one of their specialty collector cups. You get that for free with 2 scoops. So, oh man. Anyway, so yeah, you guys probably saw the text on the show about, let's talk about Starbucks coming to Sapulpa. and I do want to talk about that a little bit because there's some conversation that's happening there that I want to set the record straight on a couple of things. Before I do any of that, though, let me get to some of the news that we had mentioned here. Why are my notes not pulling up? There we go. First and foremost, got to do this. I have to wish a very happy 80th birthday. Maybe I shouldn't have said the age, sorry. But happy birthday to Paula Burney, who is the mother of our loyal chamber president, Janet Burney. Paula is over at the office very often, so it's pretty often you're going to run into her. She is a lovely person. I hope that she has a great 80th birthday. Happy birthday, Paula. And I just hope it's a good one, because that's a pretty good milestone there. Becoming an octogenarian is pretty great. But you know, honestly, talking to her, you wouldn't be able to tell, because I think she carries herself really well, and she looks a lot younger than 80. That is for sure. Not a day over probably 30. So anyway, happy birthday, Paula. Let's see, we've got some good news coming up about the Music on the Square event. Okay, we've been talking about this, and I'll say it again, okay? The Music on the Square event, which happened literally down the alley from where I'm at right now, over here at Herald Square. We had Mark Gibson here last weekend, weekend before last, and he was amazing. The best show that we've had down here, okay? And I'm not saying that to knock anybody else, but he was far and away the best performer that we've had, and he had his whole band here. And we heard that he was going to be coming back, but it might not be, he might not be able to bring the whole band. And so that was kind of a bummer, but it is worth coming to see Mark Gibson, right? Well, then we heard that they were going to be doing it again, and Thomas Roofing, who sponsors all these, shout out to Thomas Roofing, thanks for doing this, buddy. He said, look, this is such a great show, we got to get the whole band back. And so we're actually bringing the entire band back for September 21st. You guys put this on your calendar, a new free concert with Mark Gibson. Anybody who was at this concert, which includes Janet Burney that I just mentioned a minute ago, will tell you it is a great show. Completely should have been 4 or 5 times the amount of people that we had out there for how good that this performance that Mark Gibson put on. Now, we've got another great update though. The very wonderful, very loyal, very local Boss Hog is going to be coming down and providing, they're going to have their food truck or their table and stuff set out. They're going to bring their smoker down. So they're going to be available as well. We've had a food truck here previously called Anything But Dogs or something like that. I can't remember what the name of them was, but they did good, but they weren't local. And Thomas had said, you know, we tried to reach out to some of the local guys. They weren't really available. They were booked up a lot. And so the fact that Boss Hog is coming down to be a part of this is awesome, and really looking forward to seeing them here whenever they come and be a part of it. September 21st, don't forget, be sure to come and be a part of that. And that's going to be a great event whenever we have Mark Gibson here. It's going to be a free concert. It's going to be great. So you guys be sure to come and do that. Invite all your friends, invite everybody, okay? We're going to continue to talk about this because we got to get as many people as we can to come to that event, because it's going to be amazing. So there's that. The other thing, we got the Route 66 blowout coming up. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. This is a big dog. This is a big deal. This is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 35th Route 66 Blowout Festival that we've had here. And it's going to be not this next Saturday, but the following Saturday, the 13th, 14th, something like that. And it is going to be a fantastic event. The weather is probably going to be really good for it. And you know, they moved it to September a few years ago in order to make the weather cooler. Some of you guys remember we used to have it in June, and it was always really, really hot. And but people, you know, they loved the event so much, they would go out there in the 100-degree heat to go see all the cars and all the vendors and stuff. And they're bringing that back. It's going to be back. It's going to be in September, a lot cooler. So that's going to be happening in 2 weeks. You guys be sure to put that in your calendar as well. And yeah, so we got some great stuff coming down the pipe. Then we got Hops and Hops later. We're going to be getting into Christmas shoot in a couple of months. We got Spooktacular coming up in October. So just tons and tons of stuff. And we're getting into football season. And man, it's just, it's a favorite time of year for a lot of people. Probably including myself. I like pretty much every season. But fall is just, there's just so much going on. It's a lot to get excited about. So let's talk about Starbucks, okay? So first of all, let me set the record straight on what is happening. So we do have Sapulpa city limits technically has 2 Starbucks restaurants coming to Sapulpa. What does this mean? This means, where are they going to be? Probably, you guys are wondering. One of them is going to be located right off the Turnpike exit over here on Highway 97. And that is the one that a lot of people are seeing the construction for. And it's raised a lot of the hackles of different people, primarily because it is literally right across the street from another coffee shop. A local coffee shop, Buffalo Beverage Company. Hope you guys support those. They do great work. We appreciate their coffee. I don't know if they're open today. But anyway, so a lot of people were asking questions about that. Now, a lot of people were saying, hey, wait a minute, too, where's the other one at? The other one is actually over in what is now called the Edge District. A lot of you guys will know it as Town West. And a lot of people think it is Tulsa, but it's actually been annexed into Sapulpa a long time ago. Sapulpa police are the ones who patrol that area now. And the Edge District is something you're really going to want to keep an eye on, because there is a master plan that is underway for that. A complete redevelopment of a lot of that area is underway and being talked about and discussed and planned out. And the Edge District, as you know it now, is definitely not going to be the same type of neighborhood that is there in probably 10 years or less. And what I mean by that, not to say that it's going to be completely changed, but Sapulpa is positioning itself to take good advantage of the value that all the traffic and the turnpike and the fact that it's just a great intersection thoroughfare. Now that we had the Girl Crease completed and all of this stuff, there's a lot of traffic that comes through there. And some of you guys who are my age, you might remember when Melvin's and Reese's and things like that were down there in the Town West Shopping Center. And I spent a lot of time down there as a child because my grandma lived over there. So whenever we stayed over at my grandma's house for the weekend or whatever, we'd be heading over to Town West and she would take us out shopping and all that stuff. And it was a really cool place to be and to grow up. And I have a lot of fond memories about this place. So the fact that they're bringing that back over the next several years is great to me. I think that place is, it needs some love, and it deserves to be a really great jewel in Sapulpa's crown. So I'm glad to see that they're bringing that back. But back to Starbucks. So we've got 2 Starbucks that are happening. The one that's in the Town West District area, Edge District, is over by the Waffle House. So you guys have probably, if you've driven by there, you might have seen the building being constructed. It's actually close to being done. Meanwhile, the one that's over here on Highway 97, it looks like they're getting the walls up now. They did some excavation, and that one looks like it's moving pretty quickly, and it might be done here before too long. So let me get a drink. So the problem that this is raising for a lot of people is they're like, hey, why would Sapulpa let a billion-dollar corporation come in and put a coffee shop, Starbucks, right across the street from a local coffee shop? Don't you care about our local coffee shops? Why would you let Starbucks come in and do that? And here's the truth about the situation, guys. With rare exception, Sapulpa City Council, Sapulpa government, they do not get to dictate what businesses come into our town. What happened here with this, especially, let's just talk about the Starbucks on Highway 97 because that's the one that's bringing up the most controversy. That was essentially a private transaction between a property owner and a business owner or a franchisee or however that system works. But it did not go before the city council to get approved. They did have to pull building permits and things like that, but that is not a way that Sapulpa gets to say, hey, you can't do this because there's another coffee shop. So there's only really 2 ways that Sapulpa gets to say yay or nay on whether or not a business can come to town. And the first way is if they need to change in zoning. So we actually just saw this happen not that long ago. There's a housing development that's going to be built over by Highway 117 and I think it's Watchhorn, Apple, Adams, right around there where the middle school is essentially. And there's going to be some houses built, a lot of houses, like about 35-ish houses. And then they also had to zone an area there that's going to be for some light commercial use, okay? And so that is one time where that project had to be brought before the council, had to go before the planning commission, it probably had to go before the board of adjustment and things of that nature. And so that is one way where the council gets to look at it and say, okay, is this something we want to have? And ultimately they decided, yes, it is, because Sapulpa is having a little bit of a housing shortage right now, and they thought this was a great opportunity, and it's a great use of the property, and it'll raise property values around the area and all that stuff. So it's a good thing to have happen, and so that's coming. But so that's the first way. The other way is what's called a specific use permit. And the way that most of us saw this get enacted over the last few years is with the introduction of medical marijuana dispensaries. And so for a lot of a couple of years, it seemed like we were opening a medical marijuana dispensary like every weekend, right, or every couple of weeks or every month or something. And Sapulpa got several. I mean, we had a bunch. I think we had as many as 14 or 15 at one time. And that number has since gone down since the market kind of played itself out. But each of those, because they were under a special set of regulations and stuff, they had to come and get a specific use permit, which means they had to get permission from city council to open their store up, had to make sure you weren't too close to a school, that you were a certain number of feet away from another dispensary or processing facility of the same kind. And we had a couple of times where the council had to make, certain decisions on whether or not this is going to happen. The food truck park over on Main Street is a really great example of this. So, there's a dispensary right there, and it sits like 200 feet or something away from another dispensary. Normally that would not have been allowed, but because they got a special use permit or a specific use permit, and the reason why they did that is because they built the food truck park. And so the food truck park is what gave them the ability to put a dispensary so close to another dispensary over in Sapulpa. And that specific use permit is really about the only way, aside from regulations and ordinances and things like that, the Sapulpa gets to dictate whether or not a business is going to be here. And so when you're talking about like Starbucks coming to Sapulpa and setting up shop right across the street from a coffee shop that's locally here that we all love, that's not a decision that was made by Sapulpa City Council. They didn't look at that and say, screw that guy that had that local coffee shop. Of course they wouldn't say that, They're not going to say that. They care deeply about our local businesses. And so they're not going to say that, and they're not going to say, we're going to bring in Starbucks and hope that shuts them down. What good can come from that? No, that's not going to happen. And in large part, that never happens. So whenever you have a business that moves in right next door to another business or something, it's almost never because Sapulpa City Council said, we want them here and so that they can put this other company out of business. They never say that. That's not how they're going to operate. The specific use permit is what allows them to be able to make certain decisions in order to fall within the regulations that are involved in the state and local government and things of that nature. But Sapulpa City Council, local government, they had literally nothing to do with Starbucks coming to Sapulpa. Okay, so I wanted you guys to set the record straight on that, because I think some people are getting on Facebook and on the chit chat groups and stuff, and they're saying, it's a shame that the Sapulpa approved that. They didn't approve anything. They didn't disapprove it or approve it. They're literally not part of that conversation, unless it comes to where there's certain ordinances that fall into place. If you need to change zoning, if you need a specific use permit, and that was not necessary over here. It's zoned commercial. And it's just a coffee shop. It's a business, just like any other business over there. So they can put, that guy, whoever owned that property, could have sold it to whoever they wanted to. You guys might remember, but the Quick Trip wasn't always there. It used to be another little kind of building that had a thrift store in there for a little while. And, I talked to them. That conversation with getting that Quick Trip there, which was, again, with a private transaction between a property owner and a business owner, that was a 10-year conversation that happened before we got Quick Trip over there. So, and I don't know how long the Starbucks thing has been going on, but let me tell you what it does mean, okay? Because I know a lot of people are upset that they think that this coffee shop, Starbucks, is going to put Buffalo Beverage Coffee or CTX or Sugar Llamas or something out of business, okay? And when you're dealing with a free market capitalistic society, okay, that is possible. I'm not going to deny the reality that Buffalo Beverage Company, they have probably got some work to do, or they need to really make sure that they've got certain marketing practices in place, and maybe that they're doing things in order to be able to stand against Starbucks, okay? And to thrive even. I think that's possible. I think it's completely possible, and I've heard about some of the plans they have, and ultimately I do think that Buffalo Beverage Company, personally, I think they're going to be just fine, okay? But let me tell you what Starbucks coming to Sapulpa means, okay? Starbucks, as you guys know, has thousands of locations all over the country and even more all over the world. And it is a big deal when a Starbucks comes to town. And the reason why you know it's a big deal is because Starbucks has people that all they do is they search the country for places to put Starbucks, okay? And you have to meet a certain criteria in order to do that. And the criteria you have to meet is you have to have a certain number of rooftops, you have to have a certain median income, you have to be poised for growth, the traffic has to be there. And so the fact that Sapulpa is getting not one, but 2 Starbucks says a lot of good things about Sapulpa. Okay, I mean, think of all of the growth and activity and the fact that Sapulpa is on Starbucks' radar right now. Guys, I remember a few years ago, whenever Chick-fil-A went into Glenpool, okay, and then Chick-fil-A went into Sand Springs, and Sapulpa did not get a Chick-fil-A. Okay, and so we were wondering about that, and we were like, man, that's really too bad that we're like right in the middle here, we're right in this triangle, and Sapulpa missed out on getting a Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, it's the Lord Chicken. My wife makes me go there all the time. So anyway, if we can ever get a Chick-fil-A in Sapulpa, I would be thrilled with that. That would be awesome. But why didn't we get a Chick-fil-A a few years ago when that happened? Okay, so I talked to one of our city councilors at that time, and he said, Micah, it's not that it was a competition between Sand Springs and Glenpool and Sapulpa. Sapulpa wasn't on the list. We weren't even on the list. And the reason why is we didn't have the median income and the rooftops and the numbers to be able to make it work and make it make sense. So when you've got these big corporate chains like Chick-fil-A and Starbucks that you want to come to Sapulpa, we have to remember that for them to do that, they have to make it financially make sense for them to do that. So we have to have the rooftops, we have to have the median income, we have to have the people, and you know, things like the age of the people matters, the amount of traffic you get in and out. And I have to give a lot of credit where it's due today, okay? Because I think a lot of the reason why we're getting Starbucks right now and why other businesses are taking such an interest in Sapulpa is because of Joni Rogers. And Joni Rogers Conte and her family, who brought in the Crossroads Cookery, they redid the TP Drive-In, they brought in the Make Sense Foundation, they brought in the old Airbnb that I'm literally sitting right next to right here, okay? This is the woman who is from Sapulpa, went to California, became a billionaire, brought that company back to Sapulpa, opened up new businesses, brought jobs here, and then I think had a direct effort in increasing our income in this town because she brought the income here, okay? And so a lot of people, I think, you know, you might have feelings about her companies and things like that, and that's completely understandable, but I can't deny that she is probably directly responsible for the fact that Sapulpa is now getting a Starbucks. I mean, I'll just say that. Now, she's not completely and wholly responsible for that. We've also had the Route 66 Christmas shoot with a fantastic thing that brought a lot of people here. We've had a lot of other businesses that have come here as well. Sugar Llamas being here is a great thing. We've got Will Berry and his family and stuff that are opening up new businesses. The Cali Brewing Company is going to be fantastic. So we've got great things happening all around. And I really do think that Joni kind of kickstarted that. And I think for maybe some people it took longer to get here than they would have liked. But you have to understand that, I mean, these things take time for one thing. But ultimately, it's good for Sapulpa that Starbucks is coming here. It means great things for the future because who knows what else we're going to get. Because other businesses that come here, they look, and when they see that Sapulpa is here, and Sugar Llamas is here, and maybe Chick-fil-A is here, then Sapulpa will start to see a lot more things that we always wished we had, that we saw going to Sand Springs for the last few years. Maybe we're going to start to get some of those too. But above and beyond all of that, okay, I want to encourage you guys to continue to support our local mom and pop shop. Starbucks is great for what it means, okay, because it means a lot to Sapulpa. I don't personally drink Starbucks. I am a CTX guy through and through, unless they're closed, and then I go get Sugar Llamas. Buffalo Beverage Company is awesome. Crossroads Cookery is awesome. You guys be sure to show the love and continue to support our local businesses because they need it, even more so as the things that are coming down the pipe. We got a big construction project that's going to be happening this year, right at January. So basically when the roads close in October for the Christmas shoot, they're going to be closed for several months, okay? And so our local mom and pop shops are going to be here and they're going to need your support. So you guys be sure to continue to be intentional about supporting them and just make sure you continue to show them the love, regardless of whoever comes here. Support your local mom and pop shops because they're the ones who really and truly support our company more than any other businesses, okay? So you guys continue to show them love. And anyway, I hope that sets the story straight for you guys. Sapulpa did not approve or disapprove of Starbucks coming here as a government organization. They did not make that call. So anyway, hope you guys set the record straight there. Point people back to this video if they start saying how upset that they are that Sapulpa allows Starbucks to come here, because that isn't what happened, okay? All right, I think I had maybe one or two other things. Yes, okay. One other thing that I wanted to make sure I told you guys about before I close it for the day. Two things, I guess. First of all, we got tickets for the Sapulpa Community Theater show coming out. It opens this weekend. Sapulpa Community Theater's new show called You Can't Beat the House. This looks like it's going to be a funny show. You know, I do a lot of the marketing and stuff for this show, not just on this show here, but I'm in charge of the Facebook page and the website and things like that. And as I've been talking to people about this show, guys, first of all, not a lot of people even know about the theater. We're talking about an institution that has been around since 1990, okay? So well over 30 years at this point, and I cannot believe how many of you guys have never seen a show at the community theater. And especially lately, for the last like 5 or so years, it has been hard to get a ticket sometimes because they're selling out so quick. So if you haven't seen a show at the theater, come out and do it. It is just a great time. It's all family friendly. You can bring the kids. It's hilarious. And this new show about a couple of burglars who break into a house, and then that house turns out to be for sale. They get mistaken for realtors, and then they're trying to break back out again and get away from it all. It's just a hilarious situational comedy. I think it's going to be fantastic. Go ahead and go get your tickets now. You can get them at sapulpatheater.org, and tickets are $12 for adults and $5 for students pre-K through 10. Again, that opens up this weekend, and then it will run the next weekend, and then that'll be it. That'll be the end of the show. So be sure to get it while you can. And I would encourage you to get them now, because as soon as that first weekend hits, the tickets are really going to start selling. You probably won't be able to get a seat in the second weekend if you don't get your tickets now. So just saying that. The other thing I want to remind everybody about, the Sapulpa the Sapulpa Animal Shelter is way over capacity now. I do think they're having some good traction with some adoptions and things like that, but it also seems like for every dog and cat that people adopt out of there, they're getting like a new litter every day, it seems like. So if you are in the market for a new dog or cat, then you guys be sure to go out and take advantage of that. They're doing free adoptions and then like reduced fees on all the other things that they're doing. So be sure to go and get yourself a dog or cat, help them out. Or if you can't do that, but you still want to help, I do know that they are in need of all of the things that you would need to take care of a place like that. The cat food and the dog food, the litter, things like that. Be sure to go and help them out. If you can find some way to maybe donate a few bucks to be able to help them as they're going through kind of a crisis right now with their overcapacity, then be sure to do that. But more importantly, go and get yourself a dog or a cat. I have a shelter dog. She is wonderful. We love her to death. Her name's Kelsey, which we named after Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. But she is a sweetheart of a dog. My buddy Jonathan Dupay, he just got a shelter dog. Her name's Daisy, and she is also a sweetheart. So I think a lot of people tend to think that the dogs that come out of the shelters are the dogs that nobody wanted. And a lot of times they're rough and things like that. And I promise you that's not the case. You can go and get your forever best friend from the Sapulpa Animal Shelters. So you guys be sure to go and do that while you can, okay? All right, so this has been a long show. I appreciate all of you guys who stuck around. We had a lot of you guys tuning in today to talk about Starbucks and stuff. Hopefully we set the record straight on a lot of that. Hope I was able to give you guys some good information. So you guys have a great Labor Day. I want you guys to just enjoy the day. Enjoy the short week that we got coming up. We got football starting. The weather's cooling off. It's getting great. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Be sure to go out and support Sugar Llamas and get their donuts and all their fall flavors and support all your local businesses. Okay, guys? Appreciate you. We love you. Thanks again for tuning in to the Timeloop Live. We'll see you again on Wednesday where we talk about all things happening in the town that we love. See you guys later. Bye-bye.